Hey. So, this past week was not very good at all. I don't know many people who did very well. This was upset week, and actually, I think this is the first week I've ever had a below 500. So, it was just awful for me. It was just awful, awful. Yeah, well, yeah, 6-8. Not even 500 for me this week. Coin flip got 500 this week. Power rankings got over 500, 8-6. Not a good week for me, but I still have 65%. It's trying to get back to 70%. Still not quite there yet. Coin trying to get over that 50% hump. And the power ranking is just trying to catch up to me. And so, like I said, this is a pretty interesting week. This one, hopefully I do a little bit better. This is the Thursday night. It's going to be between the Packers and the 49ers. The Packers are 5-2. 49ers are 4-4. Packers have one more win, but the 49ers have two more losses. So it's more like the Packers have a record is 1.5 games better. This is going to be November 5th at 7:20 p.m. 49ers are the power ranking favorites somehow, based on the rankings, but they were also picked by the coin, and I'm just going to go against both the rankings in the coin. I'm just going to go ahead and say the 49ers will do better. The Packers will do better. The 49ers do have some injuries. They have been a little inconsistent, and they're just gonna have to run into a good Aaron Rodgers and a good Packers team. Yeah, Packers didn't do any moves to make their team better. Their defense is about average at best, but they do have pretty good offense. Yeah, I think they're gonna do pretty well. And then just moving on from there, we got a game that doesn't really mean much except for pride at the most. It's going to be Texans versus the Jaguars. Both teams are 1-6. It's going to be Sunday at noon. These are the noon games. Texans are going to be the power ranking favorites. The coin went ahead and picked the Jaguars here. And here I'm going to go and have to pick the Texans. I know this ain't just bias because they are my team. This is, yeah, my team, but the Texans are better. Yes, the Texans do have a bad run defense, and yes, the Jaguars do have a good run offense. But here's the thing, though. They have faced each other already, and the Texans can stop their... They know how to stop Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is 0-3 against the Texans. Deshaun Watson has been doing nothing but beat the Jaguars every time he faces them. And the Texans' terrible run D suddenly does pretty good against the Jaguars. It's just weird divisional stuff. So again, the Texans are better. I'm going to be picking the Texans again. They're going to go up in 2-6. The Jaguars, not so much. They're going to say 1-7. Here we have another terrible matchup. The Giants versus the football team, 1-7, 2-5. Both of them still fighting for division somehow. The Washington are the power ranking favorites. They do have the better record as well. One more win, 2 less losses. The Giants were picked by the coin, and I'm going with the football team here. Why? Because they're the home team, and that's basically it. The whole NFC the NFC East, they only have one win away from home, and that was the Eagles. The Eagles got the win away from home. So, because none of these teams have a home win, I'm going to go with the football team here, 27-17. They do have a pretty decent defense too. And now Sunday, September 8th, we still have the Ravens versus the Colts. This is going to be an interesting matchup. These are both winning teams. These are both teams fighting for division. Colts are much in a much better spot than the Ravens. The Ravens are 2 games behind their division leader. Their division leader are the Steelers. Steelers are undefeated right now. The Colts, on the other hand, are tied record-wise with the Titans. The Titans have the tiebreaker, but if they win here, they could pass up the Titans. Or actually, I think the Titans have one more win. They both have 2 losses. I think the Titans just have 6 wins and 2 losses, and Colts have 5 wins and 2 losses. They're about the same. Ravens are the power ranking favorites, and Ravens were picked by the coin, and I'm going to have to go with the Ravens here. Both teams have really great defenses, but they both also have struggling offenses. Phillip Rivers has done a little bit better as the year's gone on, and same thing as Lamar Jackson. But I just trust the Ravens a little bit more than I trust this Colts. Though they both have good defenses. Their offenses both have moments of struggles. I think the Ravens are going to come here and just do really well. And then here we've got another noon matchup. We have the Lions versus the Vikings. The Lions are 3-4. The Vikings are 2-5. Lions, I believe, are actually a little better right now. The Vikings, the running back Dalvin Cook has done pretty well, and he just ran a storm against the Packers. And this is the division matchup as well, so it's going to be a little bit weird, as in usually that's where upsets tend to happen the most. And the Vikings are the power ranking favorites, and they were picked by the coin, but I am going to go with the Lions here. I think the Lions have I think they might be a little bit more better. They both have some inconsistencies. I just think the Vikings are a lot more inconsistent, and they got 1 win, or they got their 2nd win of the season. Their first was against the terrible Texans, my team. The second was against the Packers, which was a huge upset. I don't think this is only going to turn them into a good team. I think they're going to lose again, and I think the Lions are going to get their victory and move up to a record at 500. It's going to be pretty close, though. I'm not 100% confident in this pick, because Lions do have their own problems as well. Here we have... Oh, no. The Titans are tied. They have the same exact record. They just have the tiebreaker. And still at noon, we have the Bears versus the Titans. They have the same record, but the Titans have 1 less loss. Titans are the power ranking favorites here, and they were picked by the coin. And I'm just going to go with the Titans here. Titans' defense is okay. It's pretty good. It's not the best out there. The Bears' defense is better than them, but I'm giving the Titans the edge here because they have an offense. The Bears don't have that. They can score, clearly. They've had moments where they had big games on offense, but not very often. Their offense is still struggling. They have problems on it. And the Titans, they're Derrick Henry, and they're gonna bounce. They gotta bounce back eventually. They're gonna go get their win, and they're gonna they're trying to stay ahead and get their they're trying to keep their division lead. And the Bears are trying to get to the division. So, again, these are both teams trying to fight for division for the playoffs. I just think the Titans are a little bit better. I'm giving them the edge. They are also at home. And as much as it pains me, I'm going to give the Titans the win here. I hope they lose, though. Now, we've got Sunday, September. It's still at noon. We have the Panthers versus the Chiefs. The Panthers are finally getting Christian McCaffrey back, which is very good news for them. It makes their team a little bit better. But they're going up against the Chiefs. The Chiefs' defense is, again, pretty good, pretty average, at least average. But their offense is also pretty darn good. But, again, it's kind of been a downgrade from previous years. They are 7-1, though, and the Panthers are 3-5. The Chiefs are clearly the power ranking favorites because they are clearly the better team. The Chiefs are picked by the coin. Will Christian McCaffrey be enough of an addition to have him back to get them the win? I don't think so. I think they're going to be 23. They're going to lose 23-17. I think the Chiefs are going to come in. They're going to get their victory. They're going to go to 8-1. they are still a very, very good team. And so I think they get the win here. Sunday, September 8th, we have the Seahawks versus the Bills. Both teams also, again, division people trying to get their division titles. The Seahawks 6-1, the Bills 6-2. They both had the same wins. The Seahawks have one less loss, so their record's a little bit better, half a game better. Seahawks are the power ranking favorites, and they were picked by the coin, and I'm just going to have to agree with both of them. I think the Seahawks are going to win this. They have been winning despite their defense. They don't have the best defense out there. The Bills do have a good defense, but their defense is not doing as good as it was last year. Their offense is not a top-tier offense, but the Seahawks, a really great offense. The Bills are probably going to do decent in offensive-wise because, the Seahawks D is not the best one out there. But the Seahawks offense is just really hard to keep up with. One of the best offenses out there. And so they're clearly going to be the team to beat in their division. Maybe. They're in a really good division. The fact that they're leading their division is amazing. And so the Seahawks, they're just a lot better. They're going to win based on their offense. The Bills are going to lose a heartbreaking close one. I'm sorry. And now we go to the Broncos versus the Falcons. The Falcons are the favorites here. And power ranking wise, they were picked by the coin. They are the home team. But will I pick them? I mean, even though the Falcons are the power ranking favorites, it's because of their offense. Their defense is still shitty. The Broncos have one more win, 2 less losses. So, they're 1.5 games better than the Falcons. And I'm picking the Broncos here. They do have a pretty good quarterback. He has problems. Matt Ryan is a really good quarterback. He can lead a really good offense. He just has, again, problems. The Broncos do have their injuries, but they've been doing pretty good. They got to 3 wins. I think they can get one more from the Falcons. Falcons are a team you have to work to get your victory from because, again, they do have 2 wins, so it's not impossible for them, and they do have a good offense. But they have a really, 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 really bad defense, and that's what's going to allow the Broncos to get the win here. Here we go. Past the noon, we got our 1-3-05 game. We have the Raiders versus the Chargers. The Raiders just got a victory over the Browns. They are a hard team to beat. They're going to play every single down, every single game. The Raiders aren't the favorites. Chargers are somehow the power ranking favorites. Chargers were picked by the coin, despite the Raiders having 2 games, 2 more wins than the Chargers. Is probably one of the irregularities in my power rankings. But again, I do think the Raiders are going to win this one. I think they're a little bit better. The Chargers' offense has been picked up quite a lot here. But they just lost to the Broncos, who aren't exactly a good team. And the Raiders just went into the Browns, Cleveland, and, kind of beat them. They beat the Browns, a good team. And so they have a little bit more momentum, but that doesn't guarantee they're going to win. Like I said, the Chargers, they do have a really good offense now, and they could potentially win, especially since they are at home. We shall see what happens there. But I think the Raiders are going to do a little bit better here. Now, this is Sunday. The Dolphins have a really good... This is still Sunday. This is 3:25 now. Dolphins have a really good defense. They've given up the fewest points in the entire league. The Cardinals also have a pretty good defense, but they also have a pretty good offense with Kyle Murray, and they got Kyle Murray. They got D-Hop and Larry Fitzgerald. They got a pretty good offense, but their defense is also, again, pretty good. One of the better ones out there. So this is going to be this could be a lot closer than some people might give it credit for. The Dolphins are 4-3, and the Cardinals are 5-2. So it's really only a 1-game difference, so it's not even like one's a lot better than the other. Cardinals are the power ranking favorites. Cardinals were picked by the coin, and I'm going to have to agree with both of them. I think the Cardinals are going to win this one. It's going to be like 30-20. Cardinals win this. I think they are the slightly better team. They are at home. Dolphins do have a pretty good defense, though, so it's going to be a little bit of a battle. I just think the Cardinals' offense is just too good. And the Cardinals, they do have a pretty good defense, and Tua is a rookie, and he didn't exactly do too well against the Rams defense. So I'm going to give this one to the Cardinals. Sunday is still 25. It's the undefeated team versus, yeah, this is Steelers are clearly the power ranking favorites. They don't even have Andy Dalton. The Cowboys don't even have Andy Dalton. There's not really very much. We got the Steelers got Big Ben, who's playing well. They got a really great defense. The Cowboys just have crap. The worst defense. Not a very good offense because they got the third string quarterback. Yeah, the Cowboys. At least they were picked by the coin. It's pretty flippin' obvious. Probably should have been 50-10. Oh well. Sunday, September 8th, 7:20. We got the Saints versus the Bucks. Bucks are the power ranking favorites. They are the slightly better team. They both have 2 losses. Buccaneers have 1 more win. They are leading their division. This is a battle for the division here. Buccaneers were also picked by the coin. Bucks have the better offense right now. Their defense is also looking really, really strong. The last time they faced off, they were in New Orleans. It was week 1. They have the Buccaneers haven't had much time to figure out their team yet, their offense, their new team. Tom Brady was just still figuring it all out. He lost that first week. I think this time in Tampa Bay, and then I think Tom Brady gets the victory here. They are the better team. Their defense is better. Drew Brees is showing he's been declining. Tom Brady, he's been doing pretty good. He's had some issues, but he's been doing still pretty good. He's got Gronk, who's picked up his pace. Gronk had a couple weeks where he struggled, but then all of a sudden he just went boom, back to the old Gronk that we know. And we're also getting Antonio Brown. Yeah, I think this one's going to go to the Buccaneers. I think this time the Buccaneers have it. I think they're going to solidify their division title this week. I mean, they could still, even if they win today, they could still end up losing the division to the Saints. But I think this week is where they really solidify the division title, because it takes away the head-to-head tiebreaker that the Saints have, and they will have 2, well, not really 2 games. They'd be 1 game, 1.5 games above the Saints. They'd have 1 more win than the Saints. The Saints would have, well, they'd have 2 more wins than the Saints, but the Saints would have 1 more loss. They'd have like a little bit of cushion there. Monday, September 9th, this is Monday night, 7:15. It's the Patriots versus the Jets. Cam Newton is looking like he's coming back together. Looks like he's figuring stuff back out. It's like he's getting out of his funk. They just lost to the Bills, though. He did fumble. He costed the game last time. But you know what? They're going up against the Jets now. Okay? The record is enough. They're 0-8. They are on the path of going 0-16. We will see if they make it. Will the Patriots ruin it for us? The Jets are also on the path to have the worst point differential since the merger. So this is going to be pretty interesting. The Patriots were the power ranking favorites. The coin isn't even brave enough to pick the Jets here. Yeah, this is clearly going to be the Patriots. This should have probably been a blowout, but again, division games can be a little weird. Jets might make it close. Again, Cam Newton, we don't know if Cam Newton's going to be 100% back for this game. He has had his problems, and the Patriots defense is and been consistently good. It is a division game. It could go either way, but I'm going with the Patriots here. But it could end up being a blowout. It could be something like 50-0. But you know, when it comes to these Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night games, they don't end up being a blowout. They end up being a lot closer than they should be, even when it's one team's a lot better than the other. The Tampa Bay Bucks and the New York Giants are a good example of that. So this is probably going to be a lot closer than it should be, but I think the Patriots are going to come out. And, well, that's just the end of this picks video. Hopefully I do a lot better. It's kind of a little bit hard to do worse than what I did last week. But, hey, we will see.